Hi, welcome back. In the last two tutorials, you've learned all about ice cream cones, those beautiful 4-note 7th chords. And in this tutorial, you're going to learn how a very simple, easy way to improvise with what you've already learned. So you've already learned a lot of different ways you can use this. Contrary motion, mirrored, you can use echoed, you can do stacked. So you know a lot of different things. But the key now is to use what I call the scaffold technique, which is to make basically a scaffold which you build on, and that scaffold is just a chord progression that you've already chosen. I'll show something on this little E flat part. When you're first learning a chord progression or sort of setting up your scaffold, use the simplest form of ice cream cones, which is a mirrored ice cream cone. If you want to do improv in a different key, you can still follow this video if you think of the chords in their numbers instead of their letters. So I have this harp tuned in the key of C. So in the key of C, the C chord is the 1, 2, 3, 4 is the F chord, 5, 6 is the A minor chord, 7, 8, that actually gets back to the number 1 chord, the C. So if you have a chord progression that's 1, 6, 4, and 1 in the key of C. Now in the key of G, I'm going to lift up all my F levers on this little guy. And then I'm going to do the 1 chord, the 6 chord, the 4 chord, and the 1 chord. So I've been messing around with this and I've discovered some beautiful ones. One is really easy. If you have a large harp, you're going to go just down from the C to the A minor to the F and then to the C. If you have a smaller harp, you can do it here. Or you can do it. You can go and then go back up to this. It's the same chords, you just switch to a different octave. All right, so with this, listen to how beautiful it is. I stacked it at the end. What about, though I'm on a larger harp, I'm going to come up to that higher octave at one point. I'm going to do contrary motion. Whoops. Coming down to the A. Now I'm going to go up to this higher F. So once you've got a scaffold or chord progression, and you just think of that, and you've got a hand pose, so you don't need to change that, then that simplifies things. The only thing left you have to improvise is, first of all, the type of one. So if you're just a novice, you may want to use this the whole time until you get more experienced. And if you're a little bit more experienced with ice cream cones, you could do, I'm doing contrary motion. You could do stacked. I mean, you can do everything you learned in the last tutorials. pauses are great with ice cream cones, and ice cream cones are not a metronome-oriented hand shape. They're great for feeling. You can also, when you're improvising, change the location that it is on the harp. Like I might do it up here. And come down. I might come up again, or I might go down. So instead of going down here, I may go, then go up. So just change your location is one way to do when you're improvising. Remember that with these chord progressions, you can use any form of ice cream cone you want, and you can mix them. So I could go. So this next one is going to be C, A, F. I'm going to come up, and then instead of going to a C, I'm going to go to a G. So if I was just going down the harp, it would be. So I'm going to just do, I think I'll do them all stacked. So that's one you can use. Now, obviously, when you're improvising, you're taking longer than just a few seconds. So let's take that first one, and we're going to lengthen it by adding a D, and then just kind of moving up the scale. E, get this E, D minor, E minor, F, and then G, and then back to the C. So let's try that. Just kind of keep going back down the scale. So sometimes in the middle of a planned chord progression, you can sort of do a scale of just moving along. And if you do them with blocked chords, do them lightly like a feather. That was rolled at the end. You can do them with more power. Oops, that wasn't a good chord progression. So you remember that technique where you do the ice cream cone and then a single thumb to do different things, or a single index finger. I'm gonna do a chord progression with that. It's just beautiful. I started to have some, oh, I could end like that. So I started to have a couple of happy accents in there, and I liked them, so I just kept going. We're back inside with my Eve lap harp, and I just wanted to say, if you're a less experienced player and you don't want to do those independent thumps, that's fine. Use that same chord progression and do the very simplest version of ice cream cones. That's unison, like that. Not even mirrored. That's mirrored. The next video is a direct continuation of this with some grand chord progressions and a list of wonderful ones you can try.